Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday, the 7th of December. Thank you for joining me live, or thank you for clicking on this video if you are not live. If you're not live, remember to make sure you've got the live chat replay on. So then at the end of this live stream, when we start reading the live comments and answering questions and stuff like that, you know what's going on. So quite a number of things actually that's been going on with Palantir that we need to speak about today. Then, of course, once we've done that, we'll have a look at what Palantir stock is doing pre-market. And then at the end, we will jump over to the live chat. So I guess the first thing to say is I do need to make this stream about half an hour, as I've got someone come in to fix my boiler because there is no hot water and it's freezing. So let's get straight into it today. The first piece of news has come from Eich, and it is from a Palantir employee called Ted. Now, Ted is the global head of commercial at Palantir, and he posted this very interesting post yesterday saying, "Very pleased to see others attempting to copycat the bootcamp go-to-market approach. Shop us last, you'll love us." So he put that out, and then there was sort of queries and questions. What does he mean? Who's copying? What's going on? So he seems to be suggesting that, I hope you guys can see this. Yeah. He seems to be suggesting that some other company is also holding boot camps, they might be calling it something else, as their go-to-market strategy. And of course, we know that Palantir has had a lot of success in their AIP bootcamps. I've spoken about this recently, but we recently learned that they've exceeded the targeted number of AIP bootcamps, and they are on track to serve 325 customers through these AIP bootcamps for the rest of the year, which is insane. They're really scaling. They're really, really ramping up. Very, very cool to see. And for a long time, I think the problem has been with Palantir. Yeah, they've had really valuable products, fantastic, but how do they go, how do they get them to the market and actually sell them? Because like we've said many times on this channel, one big problem is actually doing that. It's great having a valuable product, but then how do you actually get that into the right hands? So that came out, and then some people within the Palantir community, Arnie being one of them. If you haven't followed him, definitely do over on X. He did a little bit of digging, and he seems to have found that actually the company that may be also doing boot camps is Snowflake. You probably, if you're a Palantir investor, I'm sure you've heard about Snowflake, or at least, familiar with the name Snowflake. So he says, Snowflake copies Palantir AIP boot camps. Is it the sincerest form of flattery? So Snowflake have posted, elevate your skills with part 1 of our LLM bootcamp. Join us over 2 days to delve into the world of Gen AI, generative AI on Snowflake. And you can see here as well, there seems to be a very strategic pathway for customers to move through these bootcamps, as there is with the Palantir AIP bootcamps. I think this is really cool. I think this is good. I mean, obviously, we don't want competitors necessarily, or potential competitors, or anyone necessarily doing the same thing as Palantir and being successful at it as Palantir investors. But this just goes to show, in my opinion, that actually it's really working. Because why would other companies be looking at Palantir and saying, actually, let's also, participate in that strategy if it wasn't working? So that was quite cool to see. The next piece of news, hang on, before I get into that. X Finance 411. Go and check his channel out. Go and watch his channel. Absolutely fantastic information. Thank you for joining this live stream. Thank you. We need to connect and do something together. Hey, buy yourself a share on me. Thank you. I absolutely will buy myself a share of Palantir on you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Everyone, honestly, go and check his channel out. Go and watch his stuff. I don't know how you consistently post so much across multiple channels. It's amazing. So congrats on the consistency you're showing, and yeah, incredible stuff. Appreciate that. Let's connect. Let's connect. Appreciate that very much. Right, let's go back to this. Okay, second piece of news we have today. Cathie Wood. As soon as I say that name, I imagine a lot of people are going, oh, really? Cathie Wood? You know, she pops up a lot in the world of Tesla. She pops up a lot in many, many innovative, potentially technology-based companies. Like that's their thing, ARK Invest. She's popped up again. Yesterday, 6th of December, she has purchased, and I think I've got this down, hang on, how much? Over 1.5 million shares, and they seem to have been added sort of below the $18 mark. Now, she's added these across 3 different funds. So you can see here, ARK F. You can see the amount of shares as well. I hope that's clear for you. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Purchased many, many shares in this fund, and then also ARK W, again, many, many shares in this fund. You can see other companies that she's been buying, other stocks that she's been buying and selling as well. And then ARK K, Palantir, purchased in this one as well. Now, many people seem to think that when she purchases, it's time for retail investors to sell, because quite a lot of her trades seem very, very poorly timed, but I don't necessarily know if that's the case. I really appreciate that she's looking at innovative companies. I appreciate that she's a female leader in the finance and investment space. So, you know, I'm not gonna make judgment. But anyway, what I wanted to point out here is that yes, she is buying vast amounts of Palantir shares. She's obviously thinking that it's currently, well, we know this from just looking at the stock, it's currently pulled back a little bit. She is seeing that as an opportunity to buy. She purchased a while ago as well when the stock pulled back. So she's obviously doing that again. She wants to build her position in Palantir. Is this a buying opportunity for everyone? Make your own judgment call on that. We do know that we've had a lot of pullback. We've had a lot of call options executed at the $20 mark, which has brought the stock down a little bit. We've also had some insider trading. We've had Sompo selling large amounts of shares, which we'll get onto in a minute. Will Palantir stock keep falling or will it not? I don't know. Generally speaking, we're into December now. The market does, again, I'm making a massive generalization here, does tend to pull back as we approach the end of tax season. I always have to remember that because in the UK, our tax season is April to April. But I believe in the US, it's January to December, which is way more logical, in my opinion. So yeah, there's lots of factors here. We know that the tech sector has had a massive run. Will that now sell off for a little bit? Is there a recession coming up? You know, these predictions are always made. But anyway, what I wanted to point out here about ARK is that even though they have added over 1.5 million shares across 3 of their funds, and they're building their Palantir position, it is still not in the top 10 holdings by percentage weighting in any of their funds right now. So just to give you an idea, current position by weighting of Palantir across these 3 funds that we've just looked at is ARK K, that fund, 21st. So it's a 21st holding by weighting in that fund. I hope you understand what I mean. If you weight them by percentages, you know what I mean. ARK Q, 19th, and ARK F, 23rd. So although these are substantial buys for ARK, and they're buying a lot of shares, and they're obviously trying to build their position, Palantir is still not making it into the top 10 of their holdings. As a Palantir community, I very much imagine we all agree that it probably should be up there. It probably should be up there with the likes of Tesla in some of these funds, you know, other innovative companies that they've got. We can see some of them. We can see some of them here. You may even have some of these yourself. Then we move on to, well, let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about ARK and just in general about them purchasing. Is it a good signal or is it a bad signal? Then we move on to this piece of news. Now, obviously there's many Palantir catalysts that we speak about on this channel, and the Palantir community in general follow along. One of the big ones was the NHS contract. Tick, obviously went in our favor. S&P 500 inclusion, haven't got it yet, but are we eligible? Tick. The actual inclusion next year. So a lot's been happening, and all of that has built momentum for the stock to drive up. The last sort of big catalyst that we were expecting as a Palantir community for this year was the Titan contract. We were expecting to hear whether Palantir were being awarded this by the end of the year, so any day now. It looks like that has now been delayed. I think, as far as I'm aware, Palantir were also under the illusion, I don't know, that they were going to know by the end of this year. It seems like it's being moved out. So let's just have a look what's going on here. Again, follow PLTR's Palantir over on X as well. I love the Palantir community. Like, I've not come into one single person within the Palantir community that hasn't been really welcoming and really nice. So, bit of a tangent there. Anyway, let's see what's going on. Titan targeting contract to be awarded soon, Army officials say. The US Army expects to choose a single provider for its tactical intelligence targeting access node, Titan. That's where the abbreviation comes from. A battle management system early next year, according to program officials. Like I said, we were expecting this year, but early next year, okay, fine. The program, dubbed Titan, like I just said, has been moving through a 14-month rapid prototyping phase. So basically, two companies, Palantir being one of them, were given a $36 million contract to prototype for this. Those prototypes were then being tested, as far as I'm aware, on the battlefield by the people in charge, by soldiers, and then a decision was going to be made. During which FTX, formerly Raytheon, that's how I've always known them actually, and Palantir Technologies demonstrated competing systems. That effort culminated this summer with a demonstration called a soldier touchpoint and acceptance test aimed at assessing the two systems' technical performance and usability. That's what I mean by they were testing and coming up with the decision that they needed to make. Okay. Ed Barker, the services program executive officer for intelligence, blah, 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 told reporters on the 5th that those summer demonstrations will inform which of the prototypes the Army chooses to field. That decision, he added, is expected between January and March. So those are the dates that we are expecting to hear whether or not Palantir get this as a sole provider or alongside someone else. It did say up here, though, a single provider, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. I don't know how much more of this is important to mention now, but you can see here in 2021, the Army chose designs from RTX and Palantir, and in 2022 awarded $36 million to both of these companies to turn their plans into prototypes. Go and look at this post, read it all if you want to, but yeah, it looks like we're just going to have to wait now. And I do wonder as well if that information plus everything else that's been going on, plus there not really being anything necessarily that we're all anticipating, is maybe causing some people to sell. Now, retail investors selling, 10, 100, 600 shares of Palantir isn't going to move the stock that much. It's more the large institutions moving it at the moment. But yeah, maybe people are sort of getting a bit bored waiting. Their time horizon isn't 10 plus years. So maybe they're selling out of some Palantir stock. Who knows though? Who knows? I guess it's all speculation really. Then we have this interview. Now, I think I'm going to have to actually reshare my screen to get the sound on this. It's only like a 30-second clip that I want to show you. But just to give you some context, this is a guy that's going to be speaking that you'll hear that used to work at Palantir in the defense area of Palantir. And he was basically asked by the interviewer, Joe Longsdale. I recommend watching all of this interview, by the way. It's quite interesting. He was asked, what do you appreciate about your time at Palantir. And the reason I think this is important is because it's, at the end of the day, it's the leadership plus the trajectory plus the employees that make a company. If the employees aren't happy at a company, they are not going to be doing their best work. And what he has to say about Palantir suggests that actually he was very, very happy and he really did like working there. So I'm just going to stop sharing this and reshare it because I have to share it as a, I have to share it as a tab if I want the audio to work. I've learned this recently when it didn't work. Okay. Here it is. Let's quickly watch this. If you can't hear it, please just let me know and I will try and figure it out. Someone give me a thumbs up when I click this to let me know it's working.
Before that, I remember we were curious what you were going to do next year. People were watching you after you left Palantir. You were one of the top talents, as was Nick, and so very excited to see you guys teaming up. You know, just starting on Palantir briefly, what are some of the most important lessons you guys learned from Palantir?
Yeah, so I think the three things that really kind of resonate and continue to resonate. One is, I guess I should just caveat to start, like, unbelievably grateful for the opportunity and experience to work at Palantir. I think it's an incredibly formative experience for me in my life. I think a couple of the lasting impressions. One is take on hard problems, just like seeing firsthand how we can actually have a huge dent in really big, ambitious problems that are, I think for a lot of people's imaginations, just kind of like unsolvable. I think giving us that sort of space to work on those things was one big one. I think another big one was just like really heavy focus on the quality of the people. Just seeing firsthand the amount of energy, tradecraft, care that goes into the hiring decisions that were made at Palantir, and then the quality of the people that they were able to bring in, and then how to deploy those people against the problems. I think that was like number two. And then I think three was really just like really heavy focus on going to first principles, thinking about what is the actual problem we're trying to solve, and then getting really tactical.
Awesome. You said some good.
Like I said, I recommend you watch that interview in its entirety if you are at all interested. Not all of it is about Palantir, but it's interesting anyhow. So what did he say there? Well, he said, firstly, he appreciates that Palantir always take on hard problems. He obviously saw firsthand whilst working at Palantir that, you know, they are trying to solve the most ambitious and large and potentially unsolvable problems that maybe other companies aren't tackling. That reminds me a lot of Tesla. Doing the unthinkable, doing the unsolvable, and then coming back, like he said, to first principle thinking to actually solve those problems. Again, that very much in my mind makes me think about Elon Musk and Tesla, another company that I'm very bullish on. And then he made the point, what was that second point? That they focus on hiring the best talent. They focus on building a base of really, you know, top quality people, good hiring decisions. So, I mean, you know, take that how you like, but to me, that is a very good sign that the people working at Palantir, and even those that have gone on to do their own things following their career at Palantir, are very much happy with what it was like. And that building that environment in a workplace, as everyone here will know, if you've ever worked somewhere, it's very important. It's very, very important. And it also seems like so much talent is flocking towards Palantir now. And they're only still quite a small company, really, in the grand scheme of things. Okay, what else have we got? Let's share my screen again. God, I'm getting to be a technical whiz now. Look at me go. Something's going to go really wrong soon, isn't it? Next piece of news. Here we have it. You may have already heard about this. It happened, well, we got the information yesterday. I think based on how many shares must have been sold, and we'll talk about this in just a second, this may have been what caused Palantir stock to fall yesterday. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Before yesterday, I don't think that obviously it wasn't this because we didn't know this wasn't happening. Before that, the call options getting executed at $20, retail selling, probably not moving it that much, maybe some institutions, some insider selling, that sort of thing. But what's going on here? Well, Sompo, I don't know if you've ever heard about this company before, but they have sold a lot of Palantir shares. So what you can see here, spokesperson for, oh, by the way, they're the largest Japanese insurance company, in case you have no idea who they are. So a spokesperson for them says the sale was for an undisclosed amount, but they booked profit of 86 billion yen, which equates to about $584 million. That is a significant amount of profit. And then you have to work backwards and think, okay, depending obviously on how much they sold it for, how many shares is that? Probably quite a substantial amount. Two things to say here. One, they are an investor in Palantir, and you can see here they have invested 500 million in Palantir in June 2020, a few months before the DPO, Palantir's DPO. So they are an investor in the company. They, however, also are in a partnership with Palantir, and they actually use Palantir's products. So Foundry is being used by many, many employees across like 300 different care homes over in Japan. So why are they selling then? And also, actually, let's just make this point. In February, I think it was February. Yeah, we're going to say February. I could be wrong on the month there. I think it was. Palantir and Sompo actually extended their contract. So I don't think this sale is happening because suddenly this insurance company is saying, you know what, I've lost my faith in Palantir. I don't think they're doing good things anymore. I don't think their software's working. We want out. We want to sell our shares. Because they still have that partnership and they're literally using Palantir's software and they've extended the contract. I think what's maybe happening here, and obviously make your own conclusions, is just taking profit off the table. And I think that's happening a hell of a lot at the moment with insiders taking, selling shares, moving money. It's coming up to the end of the tax year. Tax planning's happening. The stock has had a 200% or whatever it's been run up. Kind of expected. I would probably take profit. I guess they're getting advised to take profit by their financial advisors. Does make sense. But even so, talking about insider trading quickly, you have to have a look at the context. What's been going on with the stock this year? When are they selling? And how much of their overall Palantir holdings are actually being sold? If it only equates to 2%, do we really need to worry? That's my 2 cents on that anyway. So yeah, I think February literally says in front of me, it happened in February. Well done, Hayley, for remembering that. But so let's actually just look at Palantir stock pre-market before I jump into something else. So what have we got here? It's been a bit of a rough time. Let me know if you're buying, if you've been buying, if you plan to buy. People that were buying at $20, are they still buying now at 17 or are they freaking out? 5 days down by 14%. That's a significant fall. And definitely here, look at that. That's like a water slide at a very good water park, that one. Like I was saying, reasons that I've already discussed. But pre-market looks to be up by about 2% to 1747. We'll see what's in course for us, today. It may end up dropping even more. Who knows? People are starting to say $15. We could see. So have your plan in place and your strategy in place as to when you are going to be adding more Palantir to your position. Your average. Do you want to average up? Will you be able to average down by buying at this sort of price if it falls to 15? Have you actually got cash ready and waiting? Do you want to deploy that cash, or actually would add in now be a FOMO position, a FOMO strategy? Things to think about. So just quickly, I'm going to move into the chat, but I just thought it was interesting to just quickly mention, I'm sure you've all seen this, but Google yesterday, I think it was, announced their AI model, Gemini, which is being called like ChatGPT's biggest competitor. Now, interestingly, this is actually the first multimodal, is that the right? Multimodal AI, meaning it's combining various sources, image, text, code, audio, the lot of them. And it's been proven so far, and I don't know the figures, but it's been proven to outperform human experts at a range of different topics. So I guess watch this space. Who's buying Google stock right now because of this? And then in slightly weirder news, I don't know if any of you heard about this one. McDonald's is also partnering with Google to integrate AI for like mobile orders, drive-through, and to help their employees answer basic questions like, how do I fix the ice cream machine? So they've got a chatbot, and apparently they're calling this chatbot Ask Pickles. I don't have much more to say about that. It amused me greatly because it's just funny, Ask Pickles. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to some of the chat comments. Wow, got quite a lot of comments today. Appreciate everyone joining. We're going to have to whiz through this because I've got about 5 minutes, and then I expect my boiler person to come and sort my boiler so I actually have hot water. Got some members in the house. Thank you, Mickey, for joining, as always. Very interested to see what Palantir does after a roller coaster week. Absolutely. It's been nuts. This is why it's so important to work on your mindset when it comes to investing and actually have a strategy and a plan in place. So when these things happen, you know exactly what you're going to do. You already have aligned your funds ready to go if you do want to buy. You know, you have thought about the risk. You've thought about where you want to be, how long you plan to hold this. Are you trading it? Are you, trying to bring down your average? I don't know. But yeah, it has been a roller coaster of a week indeed. Morning, everyone. Afternoon where I am, but morning. Going to try and pick up a few shares in Palantir during this dip. Dollar cost averaging is the way forward, then hold for the long term. Yeah, that is my strategy as well, Roy. Just dollar cost averaging and having cash on hand if I see an opportunity. Did anyone buy yesterday? That was your dip, boys and girls. We rip into the end of the year. We're going to have to see what happens. We're going to have to see where it goes from here. They make good picks, but they always sell them too early. Yeah, and you've got to remember as well that the likes of ARK Invest, they're not retail investors like myself and you. They are there to make money. So they are going to try and do that. And if they think that selling at this point is the way to make the money on that stock, so be it. I don't think when they sell out of a position or they sell some shares, it means that suddenly the company's going to zero or they've lost their thesis in the company. It just may strategically make sense for them at that time. I agree. Michael, happy birthday for tomorrow. I'm guessing that's what you said because you're referencing Australia, right? So your birthday is Friday the 8th, which is tomorrow for us. Okay. Happy birthday for tomorrow. I like how vague you're being here. Figure out how many shares he owns. It's somewhere between 10,000, but less than 100,000. Okay, I'm going to bet. And if I'm right, you have to give me half of these shares, okay? I'm going to bet you have, this is really, really random, 64,000 shares. Okay. We need to connect on this. You need to teach me about options because I'm a little bit clueless and I want to understand. Boot camps for technology and learning about new software, how it will benefit your company and how to use it is nothing new. I attended one at the beginning of the millennium. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a new thing that is existing. It's just, I think that Palantir have seen a lot of success in their AIP boot camps. And I guess all they're saying is, we have valuable software. We are showing the valuable software and other companies are seeing that as a valuable option as well. But yeah, absolutely nothing new. They didn't change the game there or anything. Thank you for saying so. I love this channel. I love researching Palantir and Tesla and other stocks and sharing the information that I learn. So absolutely. Hey, we've got Decade Investor in the house as well. How are you doing? I see you started posting on YouTube again, so that's cool. Everyone go and check his channel out. It's good to see you. Good to see you on here. I really do have to go in a minute because, like I said, the boiler is going to need fixing. But yeah, Palantir just starting. Absolutely. We're still in early days. I completely agree. I think that we are, if you think about when Palantir went public, there you go, early days. They are only just getting going. They are still expanding into so many sectors, making partnerships and contracts with so many different companies, both on the commercial side, the enterprise side, and the government side. It's just the beginning. It really is. I think I'm excited to see any new announcements of products in the future and things like that. But yeah, without going too deep into what's going on with Palantir, agree. Only just getting started. Yeah, couldn't agree more with this statement here. I wish. No, it was ARK Invest. They added just over 1.5 million shares of Palantir across 3 of their different funds. I am not at the stage in my life where I could drop 1.5, I could add 1.5 million shares in Palantir. One day, maybe. Not there yet. Not there yet, unfortunately. I wish. Could you stream at 1 a.m. UK time? Unfortunately not. I am not awake at 1 a.m. UK time. I do not, I'm not a night owl. I'm asleep by very latest 11 p.m. midnight. So unfortunately not. 1 p.m. UK time is the time that I'm able to go live. But I hope you can continue to make these. And you're a valued member of the channel. So I appreciate you being here. But, I'll always make videos. I'm pretty much making a video every single day. So if you can't make these live streams, you can watch it after. You can put it on whilst you're eating your dinner, after it's up as a video. Or you can just watch the normal videos as well. I believe Palantir has a lot of things to come in 2024. Absolutely. Like we said, they are only just getting started. We have many, many things still as a community that we want to see Palantir go on to do. Early days. For the majority of retail investors, still we are all in the accumulation phase of Palantir shares. And those that will buy in, $6, $7 and accumulating loads there, incredible. I was adding at that point, but I would say I'm still very much in my accumulation stage of Palantir, and I will continue to be so for quite a while. Right. On that note, guys, we are going to leave it there. I appreciate all of you for coming. Really do. Thank you. Hopefully I will now go and get my boiler fixed because I cannot deal with a cold shower right now in the UK. It's freezing. And yeah, thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow for the last live of the week. And I will have another video coming out tonight. Appreciate you all, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good rest of your day.